Hello and welcome back to my channel. So I realised the other day that I haven't actually spoke about going through IVF during this current pandemic. My IVF was June 2020. I am actually 4 weeks away from having said baby now. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what it was like going through it and how I experienced it and my thoughts and feelings. It's going to be a little bit different if it's your first time. Obviously it's my second IVF. I've already got a son. I've had 2 rounds of IVF and ended up with 2 boys. I am very, very fortunate. I never like using the word lucky because I think there's no luck in IVF. If you need any sort of fertility treatment, I just don't think the word luck is the one to use. I don't like it when people say I'm lucky because if you don't know my story, I went through the menopause when I was 13. I don't think there's anything lucky about that. I am fortunate and I'm blessed, and I know that I am against the odds that I've had 2 rounds and 2 pregnancies, and I'm very, very aware of that. We decided in May that we were going to use another embryo, sort of because of COVID, and I think some people might come to this thought as well. I knew that I wasn't, my studio, so I run a fitness studio, I knew that I wasn't really going to be there, so I was going to have a break. I thought I was going to have a break and it would be a good opportunity to go through it all again. We made an inquiry and it turned out they were just sort of reopening their treatments in the clinic. I think they started doing IVF again about the end of May in the UK. At our clinic, so we use Care Fertility. A lot of people ask me the branch, but I don't really want to discuss the branch because I use donor eggs. I want to keep some privacy in my journey. We rung them, and again it was a little bit different because we'd already had a first time success, so they weren't going to change anything. So they just called me to check where I was on my HRT. So I have to take hormone replacement therapy because of my early menopause, and it's kind of like the pill, but it's not. You can take the pill, so it is like a cycle, 28-day cycle. So they asked where I was, and I was kind of halfway through then. So what they did was they sent the drugs that I'd need, the Prognova, or was it estradiol this time? I think it was estradiol. I'll make sure I put the right drugs in there. But you can see my IVF video from sort of May, June time that I do discuss it all in detail anyway. But so they sent that for me to literally finish my pack and then start my drugs on day 1. Then they were going to do my 11-day scan. So I didn't see them. Everything was done on the phone till I went and had my scan. Now before, again, if you watch my old videos, I was back and forth. We were having blood tests. We were having semen analysis, donor egg consultations, things like that. But you tend to have a lot more tests. If you're using your own eggs, you're probably going to have to go in a couple of times for some blood tests, more scans like follicle scans, as well as your lining scans. Again, I reckon you'd be doing that on your own. I'm not sure if they're letting partners go in. So I went down twice, one for my scan and one for transfer. So we made the phone call sort of the 2nd week of May, and then my transfer was the 17th of June. That's how quick it was. It was like 5-week turnaround. So my scan showed everything was fine. I was quite shocked by it because in my first IVF I had a super tiny, super thin womb of only 2.8 millimeters thick, and this time my lining was 12.5, and then I panicked. I was like, is it too thick? Often it does stay bigger after that you have had a child. So transfer day, it was like up in the air if Tom was going to drive me or not, because it's about an hour away. Luckily could have childcare for Orin at that time, but we decided that Tom was going to drive me down because he didn't like the idea that he wasn't going to be there at all. You weren't allowed into the clinic till literally the time that they gave you. They let me in the back door, then I had to have my temperature taken, had to be ID'd, and then they let me in the building. And there was just me and one other woman there, and I think she might have been having her eggs collected. She wasn't having transfer, but we were kept in like bays. I didn't even see this woman far apart. I just heard her. What I'd say was the care staff were brilliant. It didn't feel any different. It didn't feel rushed or more clinical, and they kept checking on me. I was in this bay to get ready, so I had to get in my gown. I took the little elephant. I think you see my transfer day video. I took all the same stuff that I took when we had Orin, and then I went through to the room, and in all honesty that's when it hit me that I was there on my own. I did kind of feel like I was going to cry, but the staff were so good and they kept distracting me, kept asking about my son, asking how I was. It's weird enough when you were having IVF that you're just having this like baby put in you, not, you know, the natural way, but with your partner not being there, it's very, very strange. But they really, really made me feel reassured and comfortable. It didn't feel any different because they wear masks anyway. The only difference was I had a mask on this time, but I think it was more that I felt sad for him because I knew that he really wanted to be there, and he just sat in the car all nervous. It went in and it was all fine, and it was exactly the same as the transfer with Oren. It was just that I was on my own that time. It's so quick, like you'll be shocked how quick transfer is. You kind of sat in the waiting area longer than you are in the actual transfer room. I just want to reassure people that it was fine. I think I would have felt the same. I probably still would have felt a little bit emotional even if Tom was there anyway. It's IVF at the end of the day, and it's a very emotional, stressful journey. It's the weirdest thing that you walk in and you walk out and there's this little thing in you, and then literally I just left the room, got changed and went, and Tom was well shocked. He was like, because I told him to go for a walk and he literally just got back, so I think I was in and out in 20 minutes, he said. The aftercare was exactly the same, so it was just phone calls. You just rang after your test date, which is 13 days with Care Fertility. That's it. Then I didn't see them. Oh, I did see them. I saw them for the 7-week scan, so I had to go to that one on my own as well. So they do a confirmation scan, or viability scan I think they call it, to check that it's not a chemical pregnancy, how many babies are there. As I said, I'm not sure if you would have more tests. I know someone else that's going for their second child at the moment, and she's had more tests than I did. So she's had blood tests to check her hormone levels and things like that, and hers are donor eggs as well, and hers is a Care Fertility branch as well, so it's a real different one. But I literally had my scan and that was it. No blood tests, nothing, and my temperature taken. Some of the procedures might have kind of slowed down a little bit, like they don't want you to come in for tests that maybe aren't as necessary, but I am pregnant, and that's been the same with my maternal care this time as well, that I've had less tests done. It's been a very weird time to be pregnant. That's my little video. It's nothing like too insightful, but I hope it kind of reassures you that it's not going to feel rushed, and although it sucks that your partner isn't going to be there, it doesn't take that long. You've done that much, you've got through this really big journey, these decisions to go down this route and whatever else on your way. So just think it's just a tiny hurdle, and they might be starting to let people in soon. I'm not sure how it worked. For me, it was a positive experience. I had a little moment where I was like, this feels wrong. That was the only thought that went in my head that quick, and then I thought, no, it's fine. I think it's because as well, if you've watched my video, that I always say make IVF day, the transfer day, as happy as possible. And Oren's transfer day was, you see my face, like we had the best day. We made sure it was the best day, that even if it all went wrong and it didn't work, that we gave it our all. We were positive, we weren't stressing out. I did have a meltdown the night before. I had a meltdown in the morning. You're going through IVF, you're full of hormones, it's emotional, you're bound to. But the rest of the day with Oren, we went out for dinner afterwards, we went to the cinema, looked at his little embryo picture, his embryo video as well that we got, and we had a really good day. And then with this one, we went, had a car journey back, and we couldn't even get a coffee together. It was just really weird. But we got home, and then we picked Oren up and we had a little toddler dance party and done our own little thing. But I really felt for this little baby, because it was so magical when I was pregnant and everything with Oren. And obviously I was in the media a lot, I was on TV. So my main focus is it'll be okay. You've got this far, it doesn't feel any different. I really heart out to you guys that needed to go abroad for your treatment. I can't imagine for it to be that delayed. Any questions, just pop them below. I hope this has helped ease anybody's anxiety a little bit. And if there's anything else I can help you with, or any videos you want me to make on this topic or any other topics, then just pop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.